Welcome to the first ever General Effect Media Awards. Please welcome to the stage your hosts, Daniel Montoya Jr. and Aiden Spicer.
Good evening to all the brass holes, we can say that, right? Drummers, guard members who are still wearing glitter from last week, and pit kids who just came for the free snacks. Welcome to the Gemmys, the only award show where the red carpet is stained because someone spilled squincher on it during warm-up. The trophies are hypothetical, and the accepted speeches are kept to 30 seconds because there's a drum major timing us with a stopwatch. If you go long, you'll hear a perfectly timed cutoff. I'm Daniel Montoya Jr., and this is my co-host, the man whose range is even wider than a horn line in an opener, Aiden Spicer.
Now, for those of you who are new here, the Gemmys are named after General Effect Media, obviously, because we believe in recognizing excellence in drum corps. And also because the high brassies sounded like a medical condition. Think of this as the Oscars, but with more shakos, less Botox, and the occasional tarp malfunction.
We're here to hand out awards, celebrate the best of the season, and see which corps managed to get through the summer without a last-minute prop design. We're keeping it positive, no punches down, just rifles up. Dad jokes are not only allowed, they are judged on style points. Let's start from the outside in, the look, the sound, the stars, and then we'll end with the big one, favorite show.
Starting off with favorite uniform and costume design. This award is for the corps that nailed the fit check before the first note. Whether classic uniforms or fashion-forward costumes, these designers made even the shakos strut.
If they wore shakos.
If they wore shakos. Not many wear shakos. So, this is one that I've kind of debated with myself for the hour that I thought about it before here. But for me, it turns out the answer was clear. And it goes to... I forgot the show name. If I Must Fall.
Oh, wow.
Is my
favorite. The camera goes to Becca Anderson in the audience, wiping tears from her eyes. Interesting. I thought the way you built it up made me think you were going to choose a certain corps. And you didn't.
And I didn't.
And guess what? I didn't choose them either. When I walked through Military Park, I lamented the fact that it was hard for me to see which corps was who.
Yeah.
Not that I need everyone to wear their old school wool uniforms. But boy, did the Phantom Regiment captivate me with their uniforms and costumes. It was Phantom Regiment through and through. But it was updated and new from the previous year. So that's why they are my pick for favorite costume and uniform.
Now that we're dressed to impress, let's ensure the sound matches the style.
Favorite sound design. For the wizards at the mixer who make sure every synth swell, bass drop, and sampled thunderclap hits right in the heart, and occasionally covers up a marimba mallet drop. My favorite sound design may be obvious, but I mean, how would I pick anyone else? The Bluecoats of Canton, Ohio.
I have picked the exact same.
Oh my gosh, the camera goes to
the Observer Effect.
The Observer Effect, Matt Jordan and company. I'm not, forgive me if it's not that those people. They're all, Tom Rarick, Matt Jordan, they're all wiping tears, they're high-fiving, clinking their bottles together. Congratulations to the Bluecoats. With the stage set sonically, it's time to spotlight the people who step up and own the moment.
Which leads us to favorite soloist. For the performer who walked into the spotlight and made the show theirs. From a single note to a roaring cadenza, he made us forget the rest of the field, at least for a few bars. So, for me, this one is kind of controversial, which I didn't realize until I started reading comment sections on TikTok. But for me, it has to go to the Blue Devil soprano sax solo. Because, wow, it takes some serious balls to be the first woodwind solo. It's not one of the first.
They were the first
solos.
one out of the gate.
The first one out of the gate in the Blue Devils. And I think he killed it. And he is getting way too much hate. Because I am a firm believer. I'll defend it with my life. Woodwinds belong in drum corps. And I think we need to recognize him for being the first guy to do it.
Yes, shout out to that performer. They are not my choice. but
Fair enough.
I respect it and honor it. This probably is the obvious choice. I think everyone in the comment section would disagree if not one of us had mentioned it.
Yep.
The Boston Crusaders color guard, tuba member. I guess it doesn't really matter. They're a tuba color guard member. And yes, to the commenter who said they marched Music City, we got it. This year they marched the Boston Crusaders. They played a high B flat or maybe higher. I'm not really sure.
know.
I don't have perfect pitch.
Me either.
And then they did the splits while doing it and did the toss of the rifle while the color guard member caught it. So that was pretty exciting.
was.
A good GE moment for the
GE
Boston
moment.
Crusaders.
And when the spotlight widens, you get the artistry of an entire section.
A category you and I both know very well, inside and out, top to bottom. Favorite color guard.
Favorite color guard.
For the team that spins, tosses, dances, and acts like gravity is just a suggestion, turning 50 yards of silk into a whole narrative. I'm really nervous on this. I'm just going to say Bluecoats. I really liked what they did. I liked how they were integrated. I liked the work. I liked all the stuff they conveyed. It spoke to me in a way. I'm not a color guard judge or aficionado.
To me, I was too scared to think about it, and I'm just going to go with Boston Crusaders because I really liked how good they were, which is fair enough.
You know
I
what?
feel like.
If Daniel Day-Lewis is nominated for the best actor, you give it to him. So, do you know who that actor is?
I do not.
It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Of course, every great visual needs a pulse, and we know who's keeping that.
This next one is favorite percussion, either battery, pit, or combined. For the heartbeat of the chord, whether you're shaking a tambourine or splitting 30-second notes on tenors, you keep the show moving and our heads bobbing. So, my favorite percussion this year, I don't have specifics because I don't have the ears for that, but I'm just going to go as combined. I really liked the Santa Clara Band.
Oh, wow.
For no other reason other than I just really like the book a lot. And I really like all the things, and I think it was cool how they had the theremin? The theremin in the front ensemble. I just think it was very creative, very cool, and thus makes it
What
my
a
favorite.
whirlwind. They're like the third pick for drums after being so dominant. Not that they're not dominant, it's just what a crazy year for percussion. Like,
Yes.
we had some great percussion sections. Well, my favorite battery, no surprise to anyone out there who caught last episode, was the Boston Crusaders. But I do believe my favorite pit and favorite percussion ensemble goes to the Bluecoats.
Fair
Tom
enough.
Rarick.
Totally fair.
Tom Rarick's in the audience, wiping his glasses. They've gotten fogged up because he's so excited about it.
And speaking of air support,
I think one of us were supposed to talk about air. No, there was no. It's right. I wrote this script before. Something that I know way more than Aiden does. Favorite brass.
yes, sir.
For the horn line that can peel paint at fortissimo and soothe souls at pianissimo. High brass, low brass together, a wall of warm thunder. Oh boy, favorite brass. You know what? Sometimes you just want to get moved. You want to get punched, like Mahler says. You want to get punched with the power of music. I'm going to give it up to the Boston area Crusaders.
I also chose the Boston Crusaders.
Oh my gosh, look at that. You would think based on the comments that we are not Boston fans, that we are, as the kids say, we glaze for the Bluecoats. Did I say that right?
I do glaze the Bluecoats. But I also like the Boston Crusaders.
Hey man,
So
you can't deny it. It's often one moment that locks a show into our memories.
favorite musical moment / movement. For the phrase, impact, or movement that made the stands leap to their feet before the last note even rang out. Nachos down, hands up.
That's pretty funny.
I couldn't make up my mind. I have two honorable mentions.
It's fine.
with
Go
this.
for it.
So
It's a tie.
yeah, it's a tie. So I have three moments I'd like to talk about. The first one is from, boom, the Boston Crusaders. I'm going to include timelines in case y'all want to look this up. 6 minutes and 45 seconds in. The brass feature at like triple piano.
Right.
Bum, bum, bum. Dude, that's probably my top moment of the year.
Oh.
It's just so impressive. I love that they're not afraid to play piano, and a lot of drum corps are. And they didn't just play piano in the ballad; they played it in their things moving up to the ballad. So I think that was really cool. Honorable mention number 1. I couldn't ignore it. The observer effect, the Bluecoats, the side chaining at 12 minutes and 40 seconds. That really stood out to me. I think that's pushing the organization. I think it's pushing drum corps. It's just beautiful. And then the third honorable mention, I just couldn't ignore it, which is from the Blue Star Sports broadcast at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. That triple tonguing feature in their opener is fantastic.
You've mentioned quite a few times.
I am a huge fan, so I just had to say.
Wow. All right. Well, I will give an honorable mention in my winner. My honorable mention would be the piano phase section from the Bluecoats opener. Just when Steve Reich wrote a piece called Piano Phase, and it's two pianos like off by a 16th note of sorts, or it just kind of just gets further away, comes together, and they did it with trumpets. So that was pretty amazing. Good for them. But my favorite musical moment / movement, you can never do wrong by my heart if you do a well-arranged version of Gustav Mahler, and Carolina Crown did the Symphony No. 5 Adagietto as their ballad, and it was played as well as you would want a horn line to play that particular movement. One of the most beautiful movements of music ever written, performed exceptionally well by the Carolina Crown.
Not every great moment gets the recognition it deserves. Until now.
So that's great delivery. Good for you. Good for you. Most underrated blank. For the corps, moment, or person who didn't get the scores they deserved, but got the fans' hearts. You're our stealth champions. And I put this category out there because I really wanted to mention one particular group. The most underrated brass section in DCI this year was the Blue Stars brass.
I put the exact same thing.
No way!
I put the exact same
that is actually a shocked no way, because, how do I say this the right way? I think that the show and the content did not do right by the brass section in a way to showcase them the way they should have been.
True.
And allow them to get higher, at least in brass. They should have been closer to mandarins.
They did beat mandarins at finals.
Oh, great. But the corps didn't.
Yes.
Right? And it would be tough for them to beat Phantom Regiment and Crown.
Hard.
But regardless, that brass section, from the first time I heard it, I was like, holy cow, this is a fantastic brass section. So that is my favorite, my most underrated section, the brass section of the Blue Stars Shamaduga Corps.
I have an honorable mention, which is Rocket by the Spirit of Midnight.
Yeah, good for you. That's true. It's a fun show.
It is.
It's a good book.
It's a real good show. It's it was one of my favorite shows. One of them.
We don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. It was.
Well, now we zoom out, because Zoom was one of the names of the Oscar. Yeah, okay. And look at the art of the field itself.
Favorite visual design. Drill. For the designers who could turn a football field into a kaleidoscope in motion and somehow get everyone to the same dot at the same time. It's pretty big.
Yep.
For me, I feel like to me this was obvious, and I just have to say it. It's the Santa Clara Vanguard.
I did the same thing. Yep.
I do think Boston also had a lot of great moments. Well, so did everybody else, but undeniably, the Santa Clara Vanguard.
It was the Santa Clara Vanguard for me. Yes.
Of course, drill is only half the equation. The music has to match.
Favorite music book / design, brass and or percussion. For the arrangers whose notes sing, punch, and flow in ways that make you hum them in the parking lot weeks later. I doubt you're going to mention this, and if you do, I will be shocked. In a good way. It's a drum corps from the Midwest. A drum corps out of the state of Illinois. The Cavaliers. That's right. I'm picking a drum corps that did not finish in the top 6, but just the combination of Jacob Bocook's brass notes, Kevin Shaw's music design, just what they all put together, and the repertoire selection for the Cavaliers to me was just right up my alley and spoke to me in a way from the very first time I heard it, when it was still rough and edgy, and then we get to the end and I still love it, still great. Cavaliers, favorite music book of the year.
Mine is a little different. This actually occurred to me the other day. I'm just going to get it out the way. I think the Bluecoats were my favorite musically designed because
that's great.
The other day, the whole season, I didn't listen to the source music of the Bluecoats.
Oh,
I didn't listen to it until after finals, and I got home and I listened to it, and I was shocked. I was just like, how did they just? Because like you listen to something and you're like, this is cool, but I could never imagine this in a marching band setting. And then they took it and they turned it into a completely different form of art. And it's just like, you listen to it sometimes, you're like, I can hear the show, but if the show didn't exist, I would have not heard it. So I have to give props to all of the great people of that design team who put that together.
Doug Thrower, Tom Rarick and company. Good for them. Good for them. If the music and drill are the bones, production is the skin, hair, and glitter.
Favorite production design. So props, stage, costumes, flags, etc. I separated all of these because I couldn't make up my mind.
All right.
So I couldn't make up my mind, so I separated it. Costumes and uniforms. I already kind of talked about this. It's going to go to If I Must Fall by the Mandarins. Flags, the Bluecoats. I really appreciated it. Again, I don't know much about it, but I was like, that's really pretty every time they did it. Props is going to go to Boom by the Boston Crusaders.
Oh, wow.
I'm a fan of how creative they got. At the beginning of the season when they first came out, even I was like, oh, that's cool. And then as the season progressed, the props just turned into like 30 different uses, and I think it was very smart and very cool, very representative of the era they were trying to convey. I just think it was overall a good job. And then stage, it's going to go to the Observer Effect by the Bluecoats because I just think it was beautiful to look at.
My favorite production design overall also went to the Bluecoats for the Observer Effect. Michael Rayford and company, fantastic job. They literally just, I know it's still a football field, but they transformed it as best as you can.
Really,
as
at the
best
end of the day.
as you can.
Now we arrive at the heartbeat of the Gemmys, the thing that ties it all together.
Favorite overall general effect.
It's in the name.
That's in the name. For the show that connected to fans, to judges, to the one guy in row 12 who hasn't stopped clapping since July. The goosebumps, the gasp, the collective yes. The Bluecoats, the Observer Effect. For my favorite overall GE.
I have no idea, and I think, oh my gosh, it just depends, but I think I'm gonna have to go with the Boston Crusaders. Only because I think from a general effect standpoint, even though they didn't win, I feel like when they were in their design team, they were like, okay, we need to make the audience stand on their feet as much as humanly possible. I think they try to be generally effective a lot. But it is so close with the Observer Effect. It's just a freak of nature year. But I do think like it was just like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. And like my favorite moment was when they like did this like funny dance and you could hear everyone laugh on purpose. It's cool. So that was my favorite overall general effect.
And now the big finale.
Favorite show. For the show that had it all, concept, clarity, craft, and that magic, something you can't define, but you know when you see it.
And hear it.
And hear it. For me, this was pretty clear. And for everybody in the comments, I made a strong effort to not glaze. But my favorite show is going to be The Observer Effect by the Bluecoats. I just think there is something about it, and like, I feel like what it was home, like for me, one of the most emotional moments as a spectator of the season was watching the side, like some people think it, but the side chaining, really, really spoke. It was just so cool. And like the music's awesome. Sewn Lux, like they really captured that emotion. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to turn around. We're going to go to the back corner of the field, and then we're going to vocode ourselves to our snare line in real time, and it's going to be perfect. Damn near perfect. And that was unforgettable and undeniable for me.
I don't disagree with anything you said. The Bluecoats, the Observer Effect. I did make a conscious effort. I went back and re-listened to a few of my favorite shows from the season, and it was closer than I thought. There were some other groups that I considered. But at the end of the day, it is the Bluecoats with the Observer Effect that gets my favorite show of 2025. this will conclude our drum corps content coverage, basically.
Can I say
this
a couple
year. Yeah, I was
honorable mentions?
about to say, do you have anything that you'd like to say? Anything you'd like to
would,
mention? Any
actually.
shout outs?
Yeah.
Any of those things?
I have a
Aiden
couple
Spicer.
honorable mentions for favorite show
Good
because
for
it
you.
was close. The first one, boom, Boston Crusaders. Can't
Okay.
deny it. The second one, overhated in my opinion, but Variations on a Gathering by the Blue Devils. I was a huge fan
You have
of
been.
the concept. I really liked it, and I really do think that they conveyed that whatever, like what they were trying to do, like you understood. Like various ways gathering, like groups gathering, and then like I think it was cool after retreat. There was a picture of one of the Blue Devils hugging a Boston Crusaders member, and then it was just that picture, and they said Variations on a Gathering, and I was like,
You said boom. You went boom.
boom. And then I mentioned this earlier. I really liked Rocket by Spirit of Atlanta. It was really cool. It was like, I just remember seeing it on Flow for the first time, and I was just kind of like, chilling. And then it was when they were like, check timpani, and they were like checking, and they were like, check soloist. It was like the whole thing you would do like before, like I guess taking off. Like I don't know if that's really what it is, but like it's what you see in the movies.
Yes.
which is what matters.
Yeah, correct.
That was really cool. I wanted to mention a couple of things that I feel like pushed the activity.
Oh,
Which,
wow.
in my opinion, some people don't like pushing the activity. I really love it. I think
Agreed.
this is how we keep drum corps in business. We got to keep moving. But I have it written on my notes, the entirety of the observer effect. I feel like that was, it's just respectful. I feel like it, once again, is pushing the activity as the Blue Coats do.
yes.
I loved how the Santa Clara Vanguard utilized silence. I left a time mark, 5 minutes and 35 seconds, where they kind of got to the front sideline before they revealed the pink on their arms, and they did this whispering thing into the mic, and the drums put away their sticks, and we're doing like it was totally weird and totally awesome. And I think that is at least I'm still new, but that is definitely I'm new to like drum corps, but that is definitely a cool way to utilize silence. This one's kind of a half joke. But the Boston Crusaders tuba catching a rifle and then throwing it up again. I mean, 30 years ago, people would be like, they would look at like dancing and they'd be like, well, that would never be in drum corps.
Right.
Is it ridiculous to say, like, imagine this in 20 years, you're watching one of the top drum corps and it's a trumpet feature and they do their crazy things and they wiggle and then they set their trumpets down and just throw like a rifle and then catch it. Like, it sounds dumb, but it's like, I feel like that kind of, because like I've never seen that before, and I feel like people are going to be intrigued because they're like, well, we just taught them how to be professional dancers. We should teach them how to throw a rifle? Maybe?
I don't want to actually you, but there's Cavalier show where they have the rifles and the brass do a, this is my rifle. And they do, I don't know that they do what you are talking about. But they did a section, I think Michael Gaines was still back there, and they did a whole thing about the rifle and whatever. So that would be a predecessor to, I think, what the tuba player did and then what is going to happen. Because you're right. At some point, we're going to run out of ways musically to do general effect. And they might go like, all right, trumpets, use your one hand to do your B-flat scale, and then I need you to...
We already saw it with the Boston this year, the mellophone feature. Crossing, like, that's cool, and that's really hard.
We're going to need more visual tricks.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I think that concludes.
That covers your...
I mean, I might as well say it, Santa Clara Vanguard visual design.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Absolutely.
I think that's going to be talked about and inspired by for years.
I agree. My honorable mentions, my second one was Phantom Regiment. I was very close to naming them my favorite show, but I think there was just the coolness factor of Boston.
I do think they had like they were one of the most emotional openers and closers. I would definitely give that to the Phantom Regiment.
Agreed. And then my third place or second runner-up, again, the Cavaliers, which some people might be going like, what? But you know what? You like what you like. And some things just move you in a way and affect you and grab you, and those three shows just grab me in a way, total shows, more than the rest. So that is
I think that concludes it.
the Gemmys for this year as he takes off his glasses. Huge thank you to all the performers, designers, volunteers, and fans, the ones who clap in time in any meter and still have glitter in their hair from last summer. Travel safe, hydrate, and remember, keep your dots hit your sets, and trust the release.
That was a banger.
Good night.
Good night.